Good afternoon. I'm calling this meeting to order. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the... We'll start the meeting with an invocation, which will be with Louis over in the corner.
Thank you, President. Again, I'm going to read this. This is a prayer that I wrote when I was president in 2003 when we moved from the restaurant over to the church here. And it goes like this. Dear Heavenly Father, so it is that in God we trust. Therefore, we believe in you. Bless this Rotary Club and all in attendance today as we go forward in service above self in our efforts to improve the communities around us and other areas around the world. Bless this food, for those of you that brought it, to afford us the mental and physical strength to carry out these services. In God's name we pray. Amen.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and please join in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today's song is with Mr. David Bricka.
Thank you, President. Ruth, let's sing America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right, do we have any visiting Rotarians today? All right, and do we have any visitors today besides our inductees? So I see Mandy is back here. She's an almost inductee. It's good to see you, Mandy. Anyone else? I don't have my glasses on, so I'm a little blind up here.
She's your guest. We're going to let you introduce her.
Yes.
Say her name.
Okay, so I have a visitor today. Her name is Denise. She's coming from Idaho. I'll let you say something about yourself, Denise.
So I am a new employee with the same company as Mandy, and I'm just over here training. I live in Lewiston, Idaho, for anyone who's been over there. And I'll be a new sales and marketing director over there. I actually grew up in a teeny tiny town about an hour north of there called Potlatch, Idaho. If anyone knows, do you know where that is?
I went to the University of Idaho, so
yeah. Go Vandals.
Yeah, that's right. See, people do know where my university is.
Yes, I do. I was born in Moscow, so there you go. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying it over here, and I've been over in this area several times, so I'm not terribly familiar with it, but I love the mountains. I love it over here. It's beautiful, and thank you for letting me spend afternoon with you guys.
Welcome. All right, we'll move on to a bit of club business. So just a reminder again, repeatedly, of course, we're about 30 days away from the auction. So if you have not turned in your silent auction, remember you can turn it in at any point in time during the workday at Stiles and Lair. Let's see, we have sold 212 auction tickets. So we have about 66 tickets to go. Best of live tickets are on sale. If you bought your tickets early and you noticed you weren't able to add your best of live ticket, you can do that now. We fixed that little glitch. Let's see. We have live auction items, I think just about covered. Christine's going to do the Rotary auction booklet this year. Oh, no, she's not. She's shaking her head. Oh, Kate. Kate is going to do it. Okay, perfect. So we are hoping to finalize that. So if you have any outstanding live auction items, please get that to me today or tomorrow so I can finalize the write-ups. We had a work party on Saturday at Mike Moser's daughter Emily's house, and it was fantastic. We had about 13 Rotarians show up and work their tails off to build a retaining wall and weed and rototill and weedy and log some trees. It was pretty outstanding. It was quite the day of craziness. So good job to everyone who showed up. It was amazing. So yeah, round of applause. That's right. Speaking of work parties, we will have a committee meeting today if you are interested in helping plan for the Epic Day of Service. That is May 17th, and that is for Area I, of which we are part of, in District 5050. So that is an Epic Day of Service at Helping Hands Food Bank. We'll be building raised flower gardens. We'll be taking out blackberry bushes from their food forest. We'll be building a shed. There is a lot of work done. We're hoping to have between anywhere from 50 to 150 people show up. If you have anyone who's interested in attending who might be a potential new member for our club or any of the clubs in our area, please have them attend. We'll start probably around 8 a.m. in the morning and we'll go in as long as we can, I'm assuming. And we have jobs for every ability. So that's really important to all of us. That's one of the reasons we selected this project, is because we have everything from labor to putting together chow bags inside if you're unable to do the more physical labor. Just a reminder again that the April board meeting is next Tuesday. And let's see, I can't think of any other announcements. Did I miss anything? Mark Venn. Paul Harris, reminder that if you have a Paul Harris nomination, you need to get that in as soon as possible to Mark so they can start reviewing that. As a reminder, that will be distributed on July 1st at the installation dinner. All right. I think we are ready to do a few new member inductions today. Chris Johnston, come on in. Up.
We have quite the group today. So, President Ruth, fellow Rotarians and guests, it is indeed an honor to induct the following: Tiffany Boggs, Mark Crandall, Scott Schuyler, and Brian Amons as the newest members of the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club. The mission of Rotary is to provide service to others, promote high ethical standards, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through its fellowship with businesses, professionals, and community leaders. We are not a political organization, but are dedicated to the practice of good citizenship. We are not a charitable organization, but are dedicated to the helping of our fellow man. We are not a religious organization, but are dedicated to the ideals of morality and high ethical standards. We bring together our individual skills, resources, and qualities of leadership to improve the quality of life for people not only in our local communities, but also in the communities around the world. Tiffany, Mark, Scott, and Brian, you have been chosen for membership into the Rotary Club of Sedro Woolley because the Rotarians of this club feel that you possess the qualities of leadership in your field, the qualities of personal conduct, the willingness to share those qualities of personal conduct, all directed towards the pursuance of Rotary's mission. It has been said that when a Sedro Woolley Rotarian is asked to perform, the answer is President Ruth. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in welcoming Tiffany Boggs, Mark Crandall, Scott Schuyler, and Brian Amons as the newest members of the Rotary Club of Sedro Woolley. And Scott's sponsor, Don Stryker, was not able to join us today, but I do have Scott's welcome packet, and the sponsors have the other welcome packets for our individuals. So this is everything you need to know about Rotary, including little information, your name badge, and then of course, and you can see, Steve, on your way out, your prorated dues. So thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, there's a little confusion. We're going to do Mandy a later date. We got to get her through membership orientation first. So sorry about that, Mandy. So I did miss one thing before we move on to Sergeant at Arms. I received a thank you letter, and I'll pass it around because it's got some nice diagrams that you can take a look at. Dear President Richardson and members, the Big Lake Elementary Parent Association, the Sedro Woolley School District, and members of the Robert and Becky Gates Outdoor Learning Center Planning Oversight Committee would like to extend their most sincere appreciation for the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club's generous donation supporting this unique community project. The club's donation of $17,500 has enabled our project to move forward early in the campaign with sufficient funds to meet the deposit requirement of the manufacturer. This has allowed further development of the design concept by Hawthorne Hagen Architects, which is necessary for construction permitting. Attached is a copy of several sketches for your awareness. Again, thank you, Sedro Woolley Rotary, for your support of this project, honoring the generosity of the Gates, as well as providing a unique learning environment for students and community members. Your gift has truly made a difference. Sincerely, Pam Baird and Mike Casey, and then a lot of other members. I'll pass this around. And then let's go ahead and move on to the raffle.
$46. You never know, right? Oh, so sorry. And I'm sorry. I actually got it too. I've had it too. I know what it's like. Number 23. Okay. There he goes. You want me to spin? Okay, North Cascade Quick Lube. Very nice. Oh. And lucky 13. Quick and easy. Nice, Danny. And we'll do one more. Thank you. Number 29. Thank you. Okay, that was easy.
Let's move on to Sergeant Arms.
Okay, Sergeant at Arms. So we are right in the middle of Tulip Festival season. So I have questions regarding the Tulip Festival. I'll start with this table right here. So the Tulip Festival's origins can be traced back to the early 20th century when tulip bulbs were brought from Holland to Skagit County. Who was the individual, along with her husband William, who established a bulb farm, becoming a key figure in the area's tulip industry? Rusin? The name is Mary Stewart. It was Mary and William Stewart. Okay, so that's $2. Yes. Okay, so while the Bellingham Tulip Festival was a major event at one time, not for very long, but it was discontinued due to two major events. What were those two major events? Yes, okay, I'll repeat it again. It says, while the Bellingham Tulip Festival was once a major event, it was discontinued due to two major events. What was it? A disease? So the Great Depression and bulb freezes. So $2. In the 1950s, William Rusin, a Dutch tulip grower, moved to the Skagit Valley and established what to highlight the festival? What did William Rusin establish to highlight the Tulip Festival? Any guesses? A street fair? The street fair? No, he established Rosengard, the major tulip garden that we all go to. Yeah. Yeah. So $2. Fun fact though, Rusin, what do you think Rusin means? Maybe you can retrieve your stuff here. What does Rusin mean in Dutch? I know somebody behind me, don't shout it out. It means rose. So Rosengard is the rose garden. And kind of a fun fact, Rusin it does mean rose in Dutch, and is the family Rusin name. They have been growing tulips in Holland since 1700 and in the Skagit Valley for over 75 years. So pretty cool. Okay. Okay. All right. Recognizing the popularity of the tulips, I just lost my track, of the tulips, which civic group organized the first Skagit Valley Tulip Festival, and in what year? That is correct, the Mount Vernon Chamber of Commerce. Yes. What year? $1984. $1. Since you got half of it right. Okay. So let's see, which one am I going to choose here for you? First off, what is the lifespan of a tulip? What is the lifespan? Yes, yes. So how? What? Well, let me perhaps. I love the animation here. So let me put it to you like this: if you were to plant a tulip bulb in the yard, how long would you expect it to bloom? How many times would it bloom? So would it be months or years, or what would you? We would want to be for how long? How many years? So this is kind of a trick question, because actually, yeah, they do not come up one time. They can come up anywhere from 3 to 5 years, and then sometimes, depending upon the bulb, 10 to 20. So that was a trick question. My true question to you is, are tulip petals edible? Yes, they are. Some tulip petals are edible. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. And let's see here. Let's see if I have one for you. So at its inception, when the Tulip Festival came to be, how long did it run? How long was the festival?
Different timeframes, like from May 31st to April 9th, or April 1st to April 12th.
Okay, so I'm going by the internet because the internet's always right, right? Okay. So one of the very first, it says 3 days. It was only 3 days long. I'm still going to make you guys pay $2. It's worth it. Anyway, that's it. I don't have anything for them online. Let's see if I have something for them online. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. How many of you online were awake? What was the decade that the Rosengards came to the Skagit Valley? No answer? $2 to you all. It was in the 1950s, the 50s decade.
Yeah, somebody got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's it. Happy bucks, yes. Anybody happy? Yes. Okay.
It's more of a sorry fiver. Sorry I couldn't make it to the work party this last weekend. I was actually in the middle of nowhere. That was the name of the wedding venue in Missouri I was at. And fun fact, in Missouri, apparently you can smoke at weddings. Didn't know that.
Thank you. You're good. Yeah.
I thought.
Well, I got a happy 50 here. That work party saved me a lot of work because, you know, it's my daughter and I'd be over there working anyway, and I'm still going to be over there working. But very, very happy for what happened at that work party. John was a lifesaver. He spearheaded the whole thing with Dan Hockett, and it really, really turned out well. And then also on Tuesday of this week, my youngest daughter, Madeline, got engaged. So we're having a wedding in our backyard in July. Very small family wedding.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, I have a happy 100 because I haven't been here for a while. And I'm not going to let Mike Mosier outdo me in happy bucks because I'm super happy because I'm here. I went to Las Vegas. I turned 43. Went to the Mariners yesterday and the kids got to see a grand slam, which was awesome. And they won, and it's spring break. Got lots to be happy about. And I'm really excited for our new members that have just joined us. So it's more than we had in my whole year last year. So that's great. So yay.
That's fantastic. Happy birthday, by the way. Anybody's happy bucks? Okay, Becky.
I have to Venmo 40. So it's Helping Hands 40th year as a nonprofit. I'm happy that our volunteers won the Washington State Northwest Volunteers of the Year award. It's volunteer month. So if you want to volunteer, let me know. And also it's my 10-year anniversary at Helping Hands next week. So I know a decade just, yeah. So I'm very happy.
Cool. Very cool.
Julia, right behind you.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Julia. I've got a happy couple bucks. I'm so thrilled. A couple days ago, Lizette Rosenmast came out to Country Meadow Village and shared the story of her mom and dad, Bill and Helen, and their migration here to Washington State and all the work that they've done over the years. And then today, Kristen is going to come out as well and talk about Skagit tourism, and then Nicole Rosen is going to come out and join her. So I'm really excited about that. And then I've got a little ditty to share about Kristen that's not appropriate for her introduction. Kristen and I were chamber directors together. I stepped onto the Laconia Chamber of Commerce and as the executive director, and she was in Mount Vernon. And there was a group of chamber directors that gathered together from Anacortes, Burlington, Sedro Woolley, Laconia, Concrete. And we had a little group, we had some funding that we did promotion, and Kristen's doing that right now with her Skagit Tourism Bureau. So I was the treasurer. I stepped in and I became the treasurer, and I got the books, and I started reviewing the books, and things weren't as they should be. And we were in her office, and the person who was the treasurer before me had set up a shell company down in Bellevue, and he was writing checks to a bogus brochure company and pocketing the money, upwards of ten to $20,000. So Kristen and I traveled to Anacortes, and we were crime-fighting executive directors. We called 911 from the lobby of the Anacortes Police Department. It was crazy. It's just crazy. And this gentleman ended up spending some time in prison for the crime that he committed. So this is like a lot of fun little story that we've got and that we can share together. So Kristen and I go way back. She's a great friend, and I'm really excited about her new position right now. So hopefully there won't be any crime fighting today when you come out to Country Meadow Village. So that's my happy buck.
All right.
Okay, online, we have somebody online. Chris Rothenbuehler has happy bucks.
Go ahead, Chris.
She's muted.
Chris, unmute yourself.
Oh, she doesn't have a mic.
Oh, no microphone. Okay.
Well, while they're waiting for that, I actually have a happy 20. And Friday night was the opening of the tulip art exhibit. We had probably 60 people who attended. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And it's an amazing event. And the ladies were saying today that they've had people who have come in from all over already to the local shop to check out the paintings. So it's just really great that we've had the opportunity to have this in Sedro Woolley, and really great that we can celebrate the Tulip Festival this way. So thank you for all who did attend. There were several Rotarians there. I think it should qualify as a meeting. I do. But anyway, thank you so much.
So Chris says that she has happy 20 for Ash's 14th birthday tomorrow. We've made it this far and love everyone in the room who has been such a huge support system for my little family.
All right. So just a reminder before we have David, as David's walking up to do the introductions, we will have tulip bouquet sales here next Thursday during the meeting. They'll be set up in the back corner. So bring some extra cash so you can buy a bouquet and take home to your spouse. And then next week, we'll also have Students of the Month and our April anniversary. So it's going to be a very busy week, and Ellen Schweigert will be the program. So it'll be great to hear about the senior center.
Thank you, President Ruth. So I'm really thrilled to welcome Kristen Keltz to our Rotary Club meeting. Kristen is a Rotarian herself, member of the Mount Vernon Club. And Kristen started in the hospitality industry at Best Western Cotton Tree in 1993. And that's when we met and became colleagues. We got together as hoteliers and did some really cool things early on. She accepted the position at the Mount Vernon Chamber of Commerce in 2001. She was there until 2014, and she did amazing and marvelous things at the Chamber in Mount Vernon. Her impact is still being felt today. She doubled the size of membership and created a positive atmosphere for the business community. After leaving in 2014, she became the Senior Director of Sales and Marketing for Hotel Services Group until 2021, when she became the CEO of Spinach Bus Ventures. She oversaw the operations for Fairhaven Mills, Skagit Landing Restaurant and Catering, Skagit Acres, and Tulip Town. And then January 1st, 2024, she joined the Skagit Tourism Bureau and became the CEO, and is here today representing that organization. She brings a depth of knowledge and value to the tourism industry, and I'm excited for her presentation today, and then at a Country Meadow Village after that. So with that, I introduce to you Kristen Keltz, a dear friend of mine.
I just take this out. I do not like standing behind a podium. So thank you so much. David gave me just a little bit of PTSD from that story. I have not thought about that in a while. So thank you very much. I'm going to speed through this presentation because I know you guys probably all want to get out of here on time. And I apologize for Councilwoman Kesty and Mayor Johnson. They've recently seen this presentation, so just bear with me. I'll talk a little bit about, let's see here. Might need a little bit of help here moving these forward. So the Skagit Tourism Bureau, as David mentioned, we're a newer organization. We took a little bit to get going. Okay. Are we not forwarding? There we go. So we have a very small team. Myself, we brought in Elizabeth Tyler in last June as our VP of Marketing and Operations. We had an outside agency that we parted ways with last year. We recently brought in Cody Hurd as our Sports Development Manager in January when we started our Sports Commission. And then we have a PR and marketing intern from Western Washington University that we're hoping that we can maybe get her in as a part-time employee. Okay. We're a 501c6 organization, so we are governed by a board of directors. So we've got folks from all over the county in different industries and organizations that are in the tourism industry. Okay. So as I mentioned, it took us a while. We had a stakeholder group in about 2008. I was at the Mount Vernon Chamber at the time, and the chambers were doing some work to make sure that we had a website. We had, an ad in the state visitor guide and the Cascade Loop, things like that. We had a contract with the county for about $30,000, which seemed like a lot of money, but it doesn't really go very far in marketing. We knew that we needed a tourism bureau. We were one of the only counties that did not have one. So we started the process to go down the path to bring in some funding that could stand up a tourism bureau. The funding mechanism is a TPA, it's a tourism promotion area, and the hotels started a petition to petition themselves so that they could collect a $2 per night fee. And that fee would be collected to the Department of Revenue, come down to the county, and then there would be an interlocal agreement with all of the towns and cities. The hang-up came with the interlocal agreement. It only took us about 13 years to get that signed. We finally got it signed in June of 2020, started collections in January of 2021, and we hired our first CEO in November of 2021. EDASC incubated our first about a year and a half, and we officially got all of our IRS paperwork and stuff done last summer, and our board has been really strong, and we've been working on our mission statement. Okay. So we redid all of this last summer, really with a emphasis on making sure that we wanted to support economic growth through sustainable tourism and being really responsible in how we market our county. We all love where we live. We want to ensure that our hotels, our restaurants, our attractions are stable and grow, but we don't want to change the landscape of what our county looks like, but we do want to share it with visitors, and we have a lot of great natural resources to do so. Okay. So I talked a little bit about the funding. The hotel collects a lodging tax, which is a percentage of the room that goes in. Each of the municipalities collect that, and then there's a grant application process. And then there's the TPA on top of that that's contracted. We contract with the county. We're overseen by an advisory board. We submit our work plan and our budget every year. We do have a contract with the county for some lodging tax. It's very specific projects. It's our sports commission, some very specific travel trade shows, and then some work with the Washington Film Commission that we're doing. The rest of our budget is all through that TPA. We don't collect any monies through the cities. Okay. So we completed our branding in April of last year. So we spent quite a bit of time with stakeholder groups, talking through really what we wanted to put out there. So this is our new logo, our new marketing verbiage that we use when we're putting out our advertising and our messaging. It goes throughout our new website and things like that. So discover the magic of Skagit. We heard a few other taglines that came through that were brought to us by the agency that worked with us. And Magic Skagit really kept popping through, and it's been used throughout the county, and it really resonated with the group that was working on it. Okay. So marketing and advertising, once we had the brand solidified, we knew that the hoteliers were really just chomping at the bit for us to go out and put that marketing and advertising efforts to the test. So we started in about May or June of last year, pushing out emails, advertising in Expedia, Epsilon. We did quite a few print ads and some other digital media. So we had about 13.8 million impressions served. We sent out about 450 very specific emails. We had over 14,000 room nights booked through Expedia. Those are people that were in Expedia looking at other areas that we tracked from our marketing. And then we had about $3.6 million that were brought in from one of our campaigns through Epsilon. I always say, I know it's kind of creepy, but we can track from the time we serve somebody an ad. It gets redirected as they're kind of going through, and then we follow them until they actually come in and swipe their credit card in Skagit Valley. That $3.6 million is about 60% of the money that was spent in Skagit Valley. They're very conservative in their reporting and their estimate. So the spend that we did was about $55,000. So our return on ad spend is very good, and our marketing is very strategic. We have really good data, so we're able to really target where we advertise. Okay, next slide. Oh, no, you're fine. So this is just some of the highlights that we did. I talked about some of the digital marketing. We work closely with Northwest Travel and Life. I'll talk about some of the travel writers. We did some OTT ads, which is more of the video advertising. We did some up in Canada for print, and some digital with Vancouver Magazine, Canadian National Graphic. Though obviously the Washington State Visitor Guide, we wanted to have a good presence in that. The Cascade Loop, the Seattle Times, we did a few advertorial content pieces, and 1889. So, okay. These are just a little bit deeper dive into the campaign metrics. I'm happy to share any of this information. Our ROI on that was 65-1, which are really great results on our first campaign. And we take all of those results and then we just dig in, and we're launching our next campaign for 2025 right now. So go ahead. This is again just our Expedia. So this was our campaign that we did just for the Bureau. Our ad spend was about $20,000. Our return on ad spend was 66-1. Okay, next slide. And then we also did a co-op campaign with the State of Washington Tourism Office, where we put in $5,000 to the total campaign. Our portion of that gross booking was about $900,000 into the county. So pretty good results on that. Okay. We work close with the Port of Seattle. They are very big into tourism. Obviously, they want to see people coming in through SeaTac. So they have a grant spotlight program that they do. So we were able to secure 2 display ads. We did Q4 and then Q1 of this year. So we'll be applying again for probably Q2 or Q3 of this year to have additional display ads up in SeaTac Airport. So they pay for the ad. We just have to pay for the actual putting it up and the leasehold excise tax. So it's a pretty good deal for us. We have a public relation program that we do. We have long and short pitch calendar that we put out. We work with our stakeholders on any really cool story ideas, businesses that have really important things that are happening, or just things that travel writers haven't seen before. We've had travel writers come up. I mentioned the Northwest Travel and Life. We went to their conference. We've got travel writers that are coming up. They've been given assignments to write about Skagit County. We've got one that's coming May 8th and 9th. They're staying in Sedro Woolley. They're going to be kayaking up either Lake Shannon or Mount Baker, doing some kayaking out at O'Connor. So we're really excited about that. We've had somebody from the Victoria Times. We've had somebody from 1889 who was here a couple weeks ago. So we host all of those travel writers. We also host influencers. We don't do as many of those. They're really starting to get kind of very expensive to host, and they're maybe high maintenance, but it's a little challenging to host them. So, okay. So one of the big things that we did, we spent the last about 9 months working on our brand new website. We created a back-end platform that is wireframed into our CRM program. So we're able to pull all of our stakeholders. So restaurants, attractions, hotels, all of our different partners, the chambers can all be listed on there at no charge. So we're going to have an event calendar, interactive map, an itinerary builder. We've got a custom planning an AI chat feature where you can go in and ask questions, have it plan out a trip for you for when you're in Skagit County. It's very cool. So we're just continuing to put information in there on a daily basis and just refine some of the things. It was a pretty big lift, but we've gotten some really great feedback and we're super excited. So just take a peek at it when you have a chance. Okay. So I talked a little bit about data. We are pretty blessed to have a plethora of data. We just switched over to a brand new data company that we're working with. We were with a company called Symphony. We just changed over to a company called Datify. They're actually a company that the state of Washington Tourism uses, and they have a co-op. So we're actually able to utilize that co-op to save some money, but we also get a little bit better data that aligns better with the state data. So this is just a sample on the left of our dashboard. So we can see, you know, our number of trips, in-state versus out-of-state, volume by visitor days. We can dig into points of interest. We have geofencing boundaries in downtowns, different areas of the county, the North Cascades National Park. And so we'll be tracking some of the traffic. We can't see like number of people that came, but we can see where they're coming from, what their demographics are for age, income, what percentage, or like I said, out of state, where they're coming from, Seattle, Portland, and then we can dig into the zip codes and things like that. And then we'll be able to start utilizing our Smith Travel Research, which is all the hotel data, and our AirDNA data, and then layering all those together and really telling a story about the impact of events and visitor information. We also get once a year a tourism economic data report from the state of Washington, and that shows us the number of jobs that the tourism industry creates in Skagit County, how much we bring in taxes, how much we save a property taxpayer on their bill, which is about $665 that the tourism industry saves every year, and that kind of thing. So, and then, you know, how many visits per million and that kind of thing. So we're able to utilize some of that data as well. Okay. So we've gotten a few grants through the state of Washington Tourism Office over the last year. We received 2 marketing and production grants. Last year, we received one to build our photo library, which we really didn't have as an organization any photos that we owned to use for our website or advertising or for travel writers. So we were able to build that up. We worked with some local photographers and purchased photos, and then also got some local content writers to write up some content for us to use for our blogs and things like that. And then we got a second grant that we just received about a month and a half ago, where we will be able to purchase some video content for our YouTube channel, our website, and things like that. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we've received 2 data and research grants. Last year, we received a grant for $20,000. We hired a data analysis company that helps us put together a really in-depth report that we share out to all of our stakeholders on all of the data. And then this year, we just actually about 3 days ago got a note that we could share publicly that we received a $20,000 grant for a sports economic impact report, so that we can show how sporting tournaments positively impact our communities in Skagit Valley. And then we are very, very excited, and Mayor Johnson knows about this, but we were the recipient of the Rural Tourism Support Grant through the State of Washington Tourism. We were the only DMO, destination management organization in the state that received this award. So we'll be working with the State Tourism Office, and they essentially pay a consulting company to come in, and we'll create a destination development plan. So we'll get all the stakeholders together at the table and talk about really what tourism looks like and what the plan is moving forward for the next 5-10 years. So very, very excited about that. Okay. And then the Sports Commission, I mentioned that. So we started, this was something that when we first started talking about creating a tourism bureau, the hotels were really insistent that we put together a sports commission. Tournaments bring in a lot of families. We have a lot of opportunities all over the valley for, soccer, softball, wrestling, basketball, all of the tournaments. So we hired a sports development manager, started in January. You saw Cody up on the thing. We've joined Sports ETA, which is a national organization that connects us with tournament directors from all over the country. We'll be going to Tulsa next week. We've got appointments set with about 30 tournament directors to talk to them about the county. We get leads through this organization for folks looking to do tournaments. We also set up a platform called Play Easy. It's kind of like a LinkedIn for sports tournament directors. So we have all of our facilities databased, what the square footage is, what they can host, photos, all cataloged in there. We have all of our hotels, all of our attractions, so that folks that are looking to come do tournaments can look at this site. And then also on the other side of it, all of our stakeholders can see the calendar of events for all of the tournaments that are happening. They can do promotions if they want to for the different tournaments. And so everybody can be really connected as to what's happening. We're also working really closely with Skagit County on coordinating a planning committee for FIFA. There's going to be a lot of people here next summer coming to watch soccer matches in Seattle and Vancouver. And then we also have Everett and Bellingham that are going to be fan zones. So we're going to be kind of right in the thick of things as far as FIFA goes. So we're working with this group. It's the counties, the chambers, the cities, Department of Emergency Management, Skagit Transit, 911, just to make sure that we're prepared for the influx of people during that time. We're also working with all of the state DMOs, the State of Washington Tourism. We're meeting in a couple weeks with the Seattle FIFA Planning Committee to go through some logistics and what each of the different areas can do. Ironically enough, we're not allowed to use the word FIFA when we market. We're not allowed to use the word World Cup. So we're all trying to kind of figure out what that looks like. We don't know what teams are coming, so we don't know where to market to people that potentially would be coming. So we'll find that out in December. So, and then just so this is our Play Easy platform. One of the things that we're pretty excited about is we were able to secure USA Ultimate Frisbee. They're going to be here 2 weekends in a row. We've got the D3 and the D1 tournament. So there'll be about 2,500 people the first weekend, 5,000 the next weekend. The D1 finals on Monday are going to be aired by ESPNU. Pretty excited about that. And we've been working really closely with the tournament directors. It's kind of our first big tournament that we're really engaged with and secured. And really our partnership with Snohomish County is really what helped us secure this first tournament. So, okay. Talked a little bit about the conferences and trade shows. So we've attended the Go West Summit for international tour operators, the IITA, International Inbound Travel Association, and then IPW is a partnership with the State of Washington Tourism. We're doing that in Chicago. Obviously, things have changed a little bit on the international market, so we're obviously keeping abreast on that. There are still countries that are still planning some trips. It has slowed down a bit. So we're kind of definitely keeping an eye on that. And then Travel and Words is the travel writer conference that was really, really successful for us that we'll do again in October. Okay. We are the official film liaison for the State of Washington Film Office. And so we will be hosting a group of 7 to 10 location managers coming up the first week in November. So we're going to have them in a van, and we're going to take them from Anacortes all the way up to New Halem. They're going to be getting pictures and videos and looking at potential locations for commercial shoots and movie shoots around Skagit County. Go ahead. So we also have a database. So if you have any buildings or locations that you think would be something of interest for these location managers, we have a database that you can put them in, put a description and okay, if you have a house that you think that would be really, really cool, you want to open up and do that, we'd love to have that in there. I talked about the photos and videos. We were able to secure a digital asset management program. So we're able to actually store and catalog all of our photos, very organized, what ones need credits, what ones we can share with travel writers, what ones we can share with stakeholders and partners. So that was a really big lift, and we're super excited to have that. We can actually just send a link out, and we've got that on our media page on our website. And then it also has a user-generated content feature. So when people are hashtagging Magic Skagit or Visit Skagit Valley, we can actually capture those images and it loads right onto our website. So we can share some of the people's experiences when they're here in Skagit Valley. We also have a complimentary online customer service training available to anyone in the Valley. It's obviously hospitality orientated. It's 4 5 to 7 minute videos that employees can watch. They get a certificate at the end of it saying they've completed it, no charge, and the link is on our website for that. And then just a plug for our first inaugural tourism summit on May 15th. We're very excited about this. We've got the CEO for the state of Washington Tourism speaking, the CEO for our data analysis company that's going to just kind of talk through a little deeper dive on our data and how things are looking for Skagit Valley and beyond. And then the CEO for the Washington Hospitality Association is going to join us virtually on kind of the state of the industry for hospitality. And then we'll have a little time for reception and networking. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And I think that's all I have. So hopefully I did not go over time too much. So, okay. Any questions? Yes.
Great presentation. I enjoyed it at the City Council last week as well. My question is, how is Skagit Tourism Bureau partnering with local businesses and service organizations like Rotary to promote community-based tourism and economic development? Thank you.
It's a great question. So we are working really closely with our chambers of commerce and kind of leaning on them to help us get the word out to businesses. Our partner portal will be launching this week on the back end of our website. So people will be able to go in and update all of their own events and things like that. Our website has, when you go in to enter an event, it has 2 buttons that you can toggle: tourism related or community event. So we've got that option. If you talk to anyone, we want as much information up on our website as we can. We've been reaching out to as many people as we can. So it's no charge. It's part of what we do and what we get paid to do. So we know that it's going to take a little bit of time to, build that base up in content. But yeah, we've pushed it out, and I'm out speaking to as many clubs and organizations as I can. Yeah. Any other questions?
I think to piggyback on that, is this a place for putting like the farmers markets and all the other markets that are going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
absolutely.
I feel like that's something that as a local, I wish I had. So
yes, our hope is our dream has always been to have like one central countywide calendar. We know that it's going to be a hard lift, but yeah, we would love to have everything on here so people could just go and see what's happening all over. So.
Thank you. That's I don't like the way you're using data, but I like the results.
I know it's kind of creepy. We get it.
Do you see hiring people for special events that you're bringing these things into the county? Is that something that your group would ever do? Or do you just rely on the partners that are doing the events to do all the staffing?
At this point, it's not part of our strategic plan to actually do any of the events. We're looking at, we would market all of the events. I don't think that we're going to get to a point where we have the resources to actually put on and manage and host events. We'll partner and help promote and support however we can the events. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate it. And always a great time to hear you speak about the Skagit Valley tourism. And I can't wait to hear you for years to come because I can only see this growing better and better each year. Unless anyone else has any further business, I think we can adjourn. Please help put away tables and chairs and take out garbage and do all the things because we don't have Cheryl today.